everybody, welcome back to the channel, man. Glad you're here. Thank you to my new subscribers. I gained a few from my last video, and thank you to my current subscribers. Can't do this without you guys. I'm going after that 500 subscriber mark. Anyways, we already know the engine runs. We got that thing pretty much dialed in. I got a new radiator on order. We're going to have a video of that here soon, but today we're going to turn our attention to the suspension. Yeah, amazingly enough, I finally picked up a car that absolutely needs no brake work. Amazing, right? No brakes whatsoever. I did open up the reservoir. It was empty. I put fluid in it, hit the brake pedal 3 or 4 times. No leaks, thank God. But I have noticed it's got new brake hoses on the front. It's got new calipers on the front. So someone did do something with the brakes on this thing before they parked it. But today we're going to turn our attentions to the leaks in the front. Now the front leaks on this thing are in shambles, man. I don't even know how this thing even handled going down the road, and I haven't even driven it yet. But we're gonna go ahead and knock these links out real quick and see where we go from there. Again, thanks for being here, guys. Can't do it without you. All right, as you can see, these are just gone. There's nothing there, no support. I don't even know how it's got a rattle. This is the stabilizer bar in the front. I don't even understand how this thing even handled. But right there, that's what it's missing, these rubber bushings. Nothing on the bottom, nothing here. These are pretty easy to change out for anybody who wants to do this in their own garage. Just takes 2 simple tools, a couple 9/16ths, a wrench at the socket. We're not even going to try and fight this, man. We're not even going to fight to get this off. We're just going to go ahead and take the cutoff wheel and zip, zip, zip it out of there. Now, in theory, I should take a hammer and beat that bolt down. Boom, there it is. Pop that out of there. Man, it's amazing. Come on, little buddy. Can be a little stubborn. There it is. As you can see, there's nothing there. Now putting a new one up is pretty cut and dry. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean that area up a little bit. Now, as you notice, somebody already had installed new struts on the front of this. It's got a new caliper on it, and it's got a new rubber hose for the brakes. Now, these are pretty simple to put on. I like to just take a jack, put a little pressure on the sway bar itself. And you pretty much just wash your retainer, bushing, slide that up through the hole, add your other bushing, slide that over. So, another retainer with the sleeve, like that. Another retainer, another bushing. Now, you see there's a direction of these. You got a little bump out here, a little nipple sticking out, and then a flat surface. The bump out part goes up against, so it sits in there like a little pocket, Just like so. I'm gonna go ahead and let's just jack down a little bit. Just like that. Just enough. Whoop, there we go. Now we're gonna jack up the A-frame a little bit. Help us out. Just like that. Slide that on through. Boom, boom. Now I gotta find the other bushing. It went missing on me. Oh, there it is. Right down here. We'll slide the new one in like this. Like so. Now once you get your bushing and your bolt-ons, then you just pretty much tighten it up. Again guys, I don't like using impacts on stuff like this. I've had so many times where an impact have broken things and broken bolts and studs. Then again, I'm also used to doing it by hand as well. And you just want to crank this down all the way until those bushings set nice and neat in there. Just like you see. There we go. And that's pretty much it. Now we're going to go let the jack down and repeat the process on the passenger side. Now you pretty much repeat the same process on the passenger side. And as you can see, this one here too, lacking of the bushings. Don't know how this thing ever, the sway bar, I mean, front end had to be all over the place. Now when I get these all replaced and replace the shocks in the back and get the rims and tires on them, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing realigned. I may go ahead and change these tie rod ends as well, because they seem to be quite loose in there. So the inner and outer tie rods, will change those. We'll check all the rest of them as well. Maybe the pitman arm, we'll check all that. Once this is all replaced, we'll end up getting a whole new alignment on this thing, and should go pretty straight down the road. All right, there you go. That one's out. And like I said, there's nothing even left. I mean, it's just pieces, parts. Nice new bushings. Go ahead and clean this one up as well. There's the old bolt. Again, same process. Boom. Nub up, slide that down the shaft. Push it up in. Boom. Boom. Making sure your nipples are heading to the front. Whoop, 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 whoop. Forgot a part, got ahead of myself. Go ahead, line that up. Push that up through. Just like so. Where'd my hammer go? Oh, here it is. Tap that up. All right, we got this one just about tightened up. Now, I didn't do it on the other side, but I did it on this side. A lot of times you have a hard time getting these to line up. They might go in there kind of cockeyed, kind of crooked, trying to get these bushings to line up in these holes. Now, what I've done in the past, I forgot about it, but I didn't do it on the other side, but I did it on this side, is I took a jack and I put a socket, a 5/8 socket, the flat end that goes into the ratchet, up against the bottom of this bolt. That way this bolt is pushed all the way through. You don't have to worry about having a ratchet on the bottom to hold it. Then you just crank it down. As you can see, everything here is lined up. I'm gonna run this down real quick. And that'll be it. Nice. And there it is. New sway bar links on the front of an A6 828. Now this is definitely going to make a big handling difference on the vehicle. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and probably order the inner and outer tie rods for this as well, because like I showed before, they are kind of loose in here. So, I mean, I could grease them. This boot here looks a little ripped up. That one in there you can't see, but it also looks a little ripped up and dry. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and button this up. All right, that wasn't so bad. Change the sway bar links on 86 828, and look at the carnage. These things are in horrible shape, man. I don't even know how this thing was even on the road, or at least handled, because these cars handle pretty good from the factory, and fairly cheap. Got them from O'Reilly's. What are these? Master Pro K52 52s. They're like 12 bucks a piece. They were fairly inexpensive, but that's going to definitely make a difference in the handling of this car. Plus, I'm also going to say, like I said before, order inner and outer tie rods for this and button up the whole new front suspension. And once that's done, we'll end up getting an alignment put on it. But I also have some other things I'm working on. Now, like I told you, this is not the original engine in this car. This car originally was a fuel-injected car, or the TPI, whatever they call that. So none of the gauges work. It doesn't have a working oil gauge. It doesn't have a working temperature gauge. I don't trust those kind of gauges, the little censored ones on the engine. I'm old school. I like putting aftermarket gauges in cars. I do have a set of gauges for this one here, and they're right here. Fairly inexpensive. Got these off of Amazon. I think they're like 32 bucks. You know, it's got your water, your volts, your oil. We're gonna mount them somewhere, you know, really cool in the car. But again, if you guys change these, don't use these rubber or plastic oil lines. They have a tendency to get hot and they leak and they cause a mess. Take the time, spend the extra money, get yourself the copper line. You'll be thanking yourself later. Plus, they're easier to work with. They bend really good, and they don't usually leak. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Plus, I have an alternator to install yet, and I got to put the fan back in it and see what this thing's doing for temperature. Yeah, there's a lot to do on this thing, man. A lot of work to do. I'm trying to get the suspension done, trying to get all the engine work done, trying to get anything that requires tools done on the outside of this car, which again is suspension. Some minor exhaust work I need to do. I need to hang that back up. But as far as in the engine goes, we're pretty good. We have another radiator coming. I ordered a 4-core radiator with dual fans, so that's going to be nice. That'll also be a separate video. Then it's on to this body, guys. We're going to start tearing this thing apart. We're going to take all the lights out, take the glass out. We're going to strip this thing down, start doing the body work, replacing and repairing some panels on it. Get this thing prepped for paint here in the next month or so. So there's a lot to do, man. But I'm going to go ahead, change this oil real quick. We got to see how bad this thing is, because I put that cam in on the oil that was in this thing, and it had some fuel in it. And like I said yesterday, there is a break-in period for these cams. I have not broken this one in yet. I've only started a few times, but I think 2,000 RPM, you fire it up, let it idle for a while, or bring the RPMs up for a little bit. You don't want to beat on a brand new cam. You put the thing in there, you want to be kind of gentle with it for about 500 miles. At least that's me. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and drop this oil real quick, see how bad this oil looks. Now I can only imagine what this oil is gonna look like in this thing. Oh, that's not even tight. Wow. Kind of thin. Smells a little bit like fuel. That's not gritty. Feels really good, surprisingly. But it is thin. It is quite thin. I have no idea how long this oil's been in this car. Probably from when they built it. This is probably still the original break-in oil. They never ran this thing. They never drove this thing, from what I was told. The engine was built, had nothing but issues. Trying to run it, trying to get the tune, having fuel issues. Man, it looks like mud. Still got some viscosity to it. Still got some viscosity. We're gonna let this drain out real quick. Now, the filter, of course it's not gonna come off by hand. See if this little guy will come loose for us. Nope. Oh, yeah. Come on, guys. You need to put these on so tight like you're... I don't know, man. Gotta go old school. And you're not gonna fit on there. Right, there you go. All right. that's the wrong way, Dale. Oh. Nope, broke my wrench. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Man, that kind of sucks, man. I've had that oil wrench for probably 35 years. Time to break out the new ones. Come on, buddy. There we go. There it goes. Man. Guys, you don't have to manhandle these on there. Whew. Hand tight, fellas. Hand tight, okay? Think about the next guy who's got to do it. Now, before anybody starts screaming at me, I have not got a Wix filter on this for this. I do have, and they were on sale last year. I got 4 K&N filters for these small blocks. Now, say what you want. K&N's pretty good. They're high up there. Wix are pretty much the best. We're going to go ahead and throw the K&N on here. Also change it with the oil. I'm going to throw in the Rotella. I think it's 1030, 1040 diesel oil. Why not? It's not going to hurt nothing. It's cheap and easy. Great for the break-in for the new cam and timing chain. We'll change it again here, I don't know, a couple 100 miles. That's a CarQuest. CarQuest. Go ahead and fill up our filter. Don't like running a filter dry like that in initial startup. And this is just 10W40. Like I said, just to break in the oil, break in the cam. There we go. Put you back under here. Gonna go ahead and fill a new filter on. I want to make sure the old gasket's not up there from the other one. Take a little bit of the oil, put it on this seal. Now, normally I do put a date on these, but I will be changing this oil here relatively soon again. So like I said, it's just break-in period. Just like so. Hand tight, guys. Hand tight, that's all you gotta do. No need to put a wrench on it. That's pretty good. There we go. Very good. We're gonna let that drip a few more minutes and throw some oil in this thing. Go ahead and put that back in there. Make sure it's good and tight this time. Well, that explains the oil that was in the driveway when I first got home. There we go. Clean it up a little bit. All right, let's go put some oil in it. All right. Like I said, I'm just going to be using Rotella's diesel oil, 10W30. That'll be good enough for break-in oil. I prefer to use a synthetic blend, which this is, but hey, it's got all the stuff it needs. Perfect for what we're doing here. Should be what, 5 quarts? Small block, 5 quarts. Come on, little buddy. Drip, drip, drip. There it is. Go ahead. Throw a little bit left of this. That's left in there. Ain't much in there. check the oil now on the other side. Right there at the mark. Right there at the mark. Nice. All right. And like I said, this will be the break-in oil. We'll end up changing this again here relatively soon once this cam is broken in. All right, guys, well, that's it. Real quick, short little video for y'all on this Sunday to show you what I do on a daily on this car. Got the links changed on both sides, went ahead and got the oil changed on this, so now I can break it in, change the oil again here relatively soon. If you made it to the end of this video, thanks guys, I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate my original subscribers and my new subscribers. If you like this kind of content, guys, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. But yeah, we got lots to do. I still have to get back on the Belvedere. There's a few things I got to do in the Belvedere. But I want to get all the heavy wrenching done on this car because I do plan on starting the body work here soon, getting the panels repaired, getting it under primer, and getting it under paint within the next month or so. So stick around for that. Like if the rims are coming, we got to get tires on those. Get that on the car. I got to rip out the windshield, install a new windshield. Got a few interior parts I got to replace, a new dashboard to install. I got gauges to put in. I got all kinds of stuff to do on this car before it looks like what I hope it's going to look like when I'm finished with it. You're all going to love it. If you watched my last video, I posted a picture of what this car's going to look like when it's done. And believe me, it's going to look like that. But hey, again, thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you, man. Thanks for watching this episode of Adventures Bound. Peace.